Divrei Torah tonight, sponsored by our dear David Hammerman in memory of his brother Hyman Joseph Hammerman, Chaim Yosef ben Elazar. All of us shalom. The Heilige Neshama should have a tremendous aliyah and Neshama Gan Eden Shamayim Mechayil Achayil. I mention as well the plaques. Chaim Yosef ben Elazar and Yaakov Yosef ben Nisan Alevi Aleim Shalom. The Heilige Neshama should be zochah to a tremendous continuous aliyah and Neshama Gan Eden Shamayim Mechayil Achayil. So here we are, Siyata Shmaya Parshas Bo, the culmination of the Eser Makis and the bridge linking the Galus to the Geula. And we had Parshas Shmos detailing, of course, the Shibud in Mitzrayim, Va'era, the Hemshech of the Shibud, the Aschol of the Eser Makis. We had the first 7, and then the final 3, the Shlah Kodesh and others with Tzaddik, talk about the Eser Spheres, Keneged, the Eser Makis we have corresponding to these Eser Spheres, and we have a breakup, obviously, in the Zayin Midas, HaTachtanias, and then the 3 that are Esug B'fnei Atzmo. So we have Parshas Bo, Gematria 3, the famous Baal Turim, 3 Makis, and the culmination of the Galus and the onset to the commencement of the Geula for Mitzrayim, which will take place in the opening pages of next week's Parsha when we read by Iber Shalach Paro Esa'am. So what's the last posuk of this week's Parsha? 105 psukim comprising Parshas Bo. And how do we get to the end of the Kufay Psukim, the very last posuk, keeping in mind Brachos Yud Beis and Alpha Koholech Achrachisam, all of the Eser Makis, the culmination of the Galus, and the Aschalta de Geula. We had Dam Pesach, Dam Milo, we had Mismosesis B'Damayach, and what's the last Indian? V'hayil Osa Yanchol Totofas B'Yanecha Ki B'Chozek Yadu Tziyenu Hashem Mitzrayim. Tefillin. You're going to put on tefillin, you're going to keep it as an os, as a yikaron. We're going to have make mention of Zecha Yetzias Mitzrayim and the constant reminder, Ayadei the tefillin. V'hayil os Ayadcha Yud Dalid Chafei. Famous Gemara, Menelchas Daf Lamed Zayin and Menelef, we darshan what's the Yadcha Yad Keheh, the weaker hand. What's the weaker hand? The tzat small. So you're going to tie the tefillin on the tzat small. Zog the Yorachayim HaKodesh, V'hayil os Ayadcha U'letatafas Bein Anecha, writes the Heilig Orachayim. Chazal darshan Menochas Yadcha Yad Keheh Shehi Atzmo. V'tzorch ladas ma'adu lo bochar shem b'yad yamin lasos bo mitzvah. Lamaisa, why isn't the tefillin put on the right hand? Ki hu ha-meshubach. Absikta zitroshin vayechi. When it comes to avoda, when it comes to hazal, when it comes to bracha, we're always ma'adif the tzad yamin. Bandied about chazals repeatedly. We're always giving preference to the tzad yamin. So something azai choshev, one of the osos. Why are we not the ma'adif the tzad yamin? Writes the Rechaim HaKadosh. Klei Yakar gives others, by reminding the Klei Yakar, also Gavaldi Gemahalcha, many other Mefarshim talk about it, to listen to an Orchaim HaKadosh. Rabbi Seinu Amr Yoso Mechuber Keneged Alev Shemitzatz Devrei Memes Avada Menachas Lamed Zayin. It has to do with the fact that the left side is corresponding far closer to the Lev, and thus being Meshabed, the Indian, to the left, so the heart is on the tzat small. Mamela, we're going to opt for the hand that's going to get the tzat small. Parenthetically, keeping in mind the famous Vilna Gaon, the Gra, Chedusha Gra, Meinom, and Maseches Brachas Daf Vav and Aleph. Why do we have the breakup 4 Parshios in the Tefillin Sharosh, 1 in the Tefillin Shayat? Put 5 and 5. We'll break them up 3 and 2. Where does it come from? 4 and 1. Right? So the goal, the whole idea is we're being meshabed, the mensch, all of the chushim, the kochos of the Adam. We're making making it subservient, subjugating it to the higher lofty realm of the moch and the lev respectively. So we're taking all the 5 senses and we're being mavatal and mechnio it to the bechinas of the moch and the lev. We're saying, we're in Evan Hashem. We're giving all of our kaiches and our means of interacting with the universe that surrounds us. We're giving it up to you. Right? The Vilna Gaon. How many chushim do we have in the head? The Rosh, the Rishon Eivarim, sense of sight, sense of sound, sense of smell, sense of taste. Hence 4 chushim, 4 parshios in the Tefillin Sharosh, connected the 4 chushim in the Rosh, and now we're being meshabed to Avinu Sheshamayim. What do we have left? Chushamishes, a sense of touch. Sense of touch is where? In the arm. Since sense of touch is in the arm, we only have 1 remaining parsha. That's why there's only 1 parsha, right? To go on the left hand. We wanted to add, what's the siyum of the milsa of the Tefillin Shayad? We wrap it around which finger? Dafka, the middle finger. Why the middle finger? finger. Ayin Rabbeinu Chai, Rabbeinu B'chai, one of the Geula shown in Parshas Parshas Gimel, writes in the name of the Chachmei Yatzeva, the Eibishter gave us 5 fingers corresponding to the 5 senses, and each one knows instinctively and automatically to serve the chush to which it corresponds. Babies suck on their thumbs. Alright, so because it corresponds to chush hatam. People clean out their noses using the etzba. The second finger corresponds to chush haref. The third one is the longest finger, thus called the alma. Can reach an itch, scratch an itch wherever it is on the body. It can touch more places anywhere on the body. It's connected to the sense of touch. Fourth one is connected to the sense of sight. People often clean out their eyes using finger number 4. You're right. Sometimes people use 2 or 3. Not a problem. Ksuvas Hayim basis is called the kamitza. The process of the kamitza starts with finger number 4, but it includes fingers 2 and 3. So some people might clean out their eyes with 2 or 3. People clean out their ears using finger number 5, the pinky, the zeres, ksuvas hayim and base, which by the way in Old English used to be called the ear finger, because before Q-tips came onto the scene, people actually used their pinkies to clean out their ears. 5 fingers connected to 5 senses. Rabbeinu B'chai, one of the Geula shown Parshas Gimel, he's explaining why the bow and yad hayamanis v'chulei, why the sprinkling takes place in different manners. Right? So Rabbeinu B'chai, 5 fingers connected to 5 senses. What emerges, the middle finger, the longest finger, the alma, corresponds to the sense of touch. So like the Vilna Gaon, it's Geschmack, 4 Parshas in the Tefillin Sharosh, because I have 4 senses in the head that are being Meshabin Machnia to the Ratzon HaBorei. 4 senses in the head, 4 Parshas and Tefillin corresponding to those. Daled Chushim, 1 remaining, the sense of touch. That's in the hands. What's the culmination? You're going to wrap it around which finger? The middle finger. Al-Pi Rabbeinu B'chai corresponds to Chush HaMishush, the sense of touch. Rabbeinu B'chai, the Gra, all stims perfectly. So let's get back why the tzat small. The Orchaim says, based on Menuchas Lamed Zayin, Lamais it's connected the lave, so this arm is closer to the heart than the right arm is. He says, Avada Devrei Emes, Ela Shenirli Lasis continues the Heilig Orachaim, but we have to flesh it out a little bit. Let's delve a little more deeply. Right? Why I'll give you the answer. Right? It's the Heilig Orachaim. You gotta know. Hashem has 2 distinct anhagas. To Bechidus, we have the Echa that's called the Yada Gedola, that's the right hand. The Echa Tikra Yada Chazoko, that's the left hand. The Yada Gedola is connected that Tzana Chesed V'Yatov, Al Pi the Sharior, the Mekubolim, that corresponds to Avram Avinu. That Tzadi Yamin, Chesed, Gedula, always the Midah of Avram Avinu. The Yada Chazoko, Chozek, Tokef, Tekifa, strength, that's Yada Gevura, Hamashalemes Lo Serah, Kira, also to punish the Rishoyim, we use the Yada Chazoko to meet out Chesed, that's Aramina, that's Tzadimin, that's Yada Gedola. Yada Chazaka Chosek, that's to meet out punishment to the Rishoyim. That's Midas Adin, Midas Agavura, that is the left hand. What happened? Not Hashem Yada Chazaka, Vehika, son of Eser Makis. We just finished the Parsha of the Eser Makis. Eibishter is struck, he plagued them. He gave them 10 plagues. The whole idea is to remember Mitzrayim. How did Hashem take us out of Mitzrayim? By giving us a makas to the Mitzrayim, using what? Yada Chazaka, carrying out the Midas Adin, that's connected to Tzad Small, Midas Yitzchak Avinu. Zeu Shomer HaKosov Kan, Kibachosek Yad V'Nochan. Even though we find Hari Pam Yada Gedola, that's the scum of the Midah Racham and to Midas Adin. Ikar HaMishpat Yada Chazaka Yiskena. The kinoi of the tzad small, it's Yana Chazaka. So writes the Orchaim HaKodesh, you're right. It's the tzad small, it's the left hand. I B'Lamaisa were always, typically, we're madif the tzad yamin. But over here, since the Yidden got out of Mitzrayim by Hashem, displaying and manifesting the Yana Chazaka and striking the Egyptians, Ayadei the Yana Chazaka, Midas Adin. To remember that, we want to always tie the tefillin. Let's remember Yetzias Mitzrayim. We're going to have Parshas remembering Yetzias Mitzrayim. Let's look at the left hand, connected the Yada Chazaka, not the Yada Gedola. It's going to be the Yada Chazaka. That's what got the Yidden out of Mitzrayim, striking the Mitzvah with the Samakas that we just culminated on the pages of Parshas Bo, Gematria, Beis, and Aleph. The remaining 3 Makas, that's Yada Chazaka, and that's how we read up the Pasuk, right? It's the Orchaim HaKodesh Gebaldik. Why? The reason why Yad Kaya, we put the tefillin on the left hand, because the Eibishter took us out. B'chozek Yana Chazaka, that's connected the Gevura, the Chazaka, that's the Tzad Smol Akan Orchaim HaKodesh. It's a beautiful way to read the pasuk. But it's not just talking about the Tefillin Shayad. And the same pasuk state in Torah Kadosh v'hayelos hayadcha u'letotavas beinenecha. You can have a beinanayim. So it seems ki bechozek yad etzei Hashem Mitzrayim is l'chayra modifying what? Not just the opening phrase and words of the pasuk v'hayelos hayadcha ki bechozek yad. It's mashma clearly from the pshat milali, the way you read the pasuk hayelos hayadcha on the left hand u'letotavas beinenecha. Why am I doing both of these? Ki bechozek yad etzei Hashem Mitzrayim. So how are you going to be mamshech l'orchaim hakadosh vayter? So Feiner Eytan, we could suggest perhaps as follows. We spoke out many a time, the Heilige Chassam Sefer. I didn't see it inside. I heard it years ago in the name of the Mesher Chochma. Never saw it in any of his form. Then I heard it in the name of the Chassam Sefer. And then Rav Weiss told me it's a Talmud of the Chassam Sefer. Now, he writes this idea. So again, I heard it from authoritative source, Chassam Sefer, Levaria, but it's from the base medrash of the Chassam Sefer. We have a Gemara in Daf Zayin, and Alf and Brachas, a well-known Gemara. Why do bad things happen to good people? The number one selling book after the Bible in the history of Jewish literature, Kushner's Apikoros filled. And why do bad things happen to good people? Based on 6th century Persian Zoroastrianism, Apikoros Gemara, Koch of evil that God can't control, Rachmana Litzlan. No, it's an age-old question, many different answers. Let's go to the Gemara. Moshe Rabbeinu Hodin Yasturachcha Menema Yesh Tzadik V'Tovlo Tzadik V'Rala Rosh V'Tovlo V'Chulei. So we have one answer in the Gemara that says as follows. Hasirosias kabay v'reisas achayrai. Satunas Hashem l'yabet. Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't see the Eibishter from the front, but what? Eibishter says, I'll allow you to see me from the back. Amar Rav Chana bar Bisna Rav Shimon Chasidim Alamein Sheherakosh Uchlamoshe Kesher Shel Tefillin. Hashem shows Moshe Rabbeinu the Kesher Tefillin. Ma'inyan Shemitah Eitzar Sinai. Hashem, why do bad things happen to good people? Why do the wicked prosper? The answer is the Kesher Shel Tefillin. Ma'inyan Shemitah, Ma'inyan Hailahai. Apples and oranges. What's going on here? Zokta Sam Sefer Zokta Levari and Moiradik. You look at a person donning tefillin from the frontal view, and what do you see? Two distinct straps, two ritzuas nefrodos, mutually exclusive. And what do you perceive it as? One strap on the right, Keneged Avravina Minas HaChesed. One strap on the left, Keneged Minas HaDin, Minas Yitzchak, Minas HaKavura. Hashem says, Moshe Rabbeinu, you're looking at my anhalga in the world as two distinct anhalgas. One of Hashem, Minas Rachamim, Minas HaChesed, and one of Elokim, Minas HaDin. So you got to go behind the world stage. From the front, you see someone wearing tefillin from the front. Two separate ritzuas coming down. Chesed Avram, Din Gevura Yitzchak. I will come behind the world stage. Let me take you behind the curtain, and then I'll show you what the two mutually exclusive ritzuas are really emanating forth in Neveah from the same place, from the Kesher of tefillin. They're coming out of Osamakim, the identical place. Showing Moshe Rabbeinu what? You think this is yes in this world, brachas and daled. You make a tova meitav on good news. You make a dynamis on bad news. And the future, Psachim Dafnun and Aleph, the famous Rav Cheskel Landau, the Nod Yehuda and Slachim Psachim Dafnun. In the future, not only will we make exclusively tova meitav, we're going to have things sown to us with utmost clarity. We're going to go to Mafrei retroactively and recite Nocha tova meitav and all the things we now recited at dynamis. We lose a loved one. I dynamis in the future. We're going to make a tova meitav. We're going to see how even the din was all chesed. That's the kesher shel tefillin. Feiner Eytan, that's when you go to Beis Hillel, you say hamokim yanachem eschem. What's hamokim? The famous kasha efshar. That it's hamokim if you recognize that side the minas chesed, side the minas din. It's all coming out of the same mokum. That recognition, that cognizance that it's all hamokim. There only is one place, and from that same place comes hein the minas chesed, hein the minas din. That yanachem, that will bring you comfort, not comfort. You go to the first time in Chumash, it appears the anabracious. A change of heart, a change of perspective. Hamokum, that recognition will change your heart, change your perspective, and that will bring you the nechama. You see it as a dynamis, but one day you should know kamada brachon l'tavavit gamzul l'taiva. Right now, I'll show you one day. You make a tova meitav even on the dynamis. Hein the chesed, hein the gevurah. It's all chesed. Mamela. That is, Shema Yisrael. Yaakovina says, you're going into Galus, you need to know one thing. The last parting message on my deathbed. Zok Yaakovinu, Psachim Nafnun, Vavam and Aleph. Psachim, the Yom of Pesach. That's where we have it as we get ready for Zeichatz Yisrael. What was the final message as Yaakov carried us into Galus? He passes away, Nistiboy Neim, believe him, upon the demise. Again, Yaakovinu Lameis, but upon the physical departure of Yaakovinu, I have one message. Shema Yisrael, Shema Yisrael. You're going into Galus. You know what's going to carry you through Galus, and when it's carried us through our history, the recognition, that full-fledged awareness that Hashem and Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, Hashem Midas Arachim, Midas Chesed and Elokeinu, it's all Hashem Echad, it's all the same thing, it's all the Kesher Shel Tefillin that come from the same exact place. It's so gewaldig that even though we know from many Chazals that Hashem keeps all the mitzvahs of Torah just as we do, and yet Chazal Margish the Torah earlier on Daf Vav and Aleph and Brachas, it's only in the Gabe Tefillin stating Gemara. It's a half-ledike Gemara. Amrav Yitzchak minayin shakur shachamini Tefillin shenemar b'chulei. And what's in the Parshas? Hashem says, "You're mine." Lakachti lilam. The culmination of the Geula is what it's saying. It's out of the Gadi lakachti. Kachti lilam. You are my nation. Exclusivity. Hashem Marta Hashem Mircha Yom Shema Yisrael. We are yours, God. You are ours. Gevaldik Tefillin. Hashem is putting on Tefillin. Rabbi side. This is what's saying. It's out of the Gadi vilakachti lilam. What's the siyuma de milsa of the Galus as we carry over to the Geula? The last message is Tefillin. Of course, Hashem puts on Tefillin. We put on Tefillin. Hashem says, "Ahayelos hayadcha, ulatotavas beinenecha." The Rechaim stop there, but let's lefini estai to be mamshich lekav hala. It's not just explaining the first part. V'hayelos hayadcha. Why the left hand? Zok the Rechaim kibechosek yad. Because we saw the yad chazaka. But Rabbi said two things happen in Egypt simultaneously. And many Mefarshim speak this out. Then you have a Padiyah, then you have a Geula. Mitzad Echad Hashem expressed and manifested the Midas Adin Klapi the Mitzrayim. He struck them hard. He gave them the Yesamakis. Mitzad Sheni. Simultaneously, by saving us, that we didn't get punished Ayadei the Yesamakis, he was highlighting the Midas HaChesed Klapi Klal Yisrael, striking the Mitzrayim with the Midas Adin, Midas HaGevura, saving us with the Midas HaChesed, Midas HaRachamim. Amen. Let's geschmack. What's in Tefillin? You take the right hand and you connect it to the left hand. Ayadek Shira. You're going to tie with the right and put it on the left. The two hands are involved. But just like the dam went on to the mezuzahs, and the Mefarshim say, Shtei mezuzahs and the mashkav, Shtei mezuzahs, and then Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Midas Teferes, who join the two together. What do we have? You're going to take the right hand, join it together with the left hand, Tefillin Shoyad, and then Totavas Beinenecha. What's that in the middle? The middle of the Tefillin Sharosh. What's that? The Hashem Echad. What's Tefillin called? Ota Yisol Besif Ara. It's called the Pe'er. Pe'er Chacham V'Sholecha. Brachas Tezvav. Ksuvas to have the whole Inyan of Yecheskel. Sugya Moikonten and Brachas V'Chulei. Pe'er Chacham V'Sholecha. Tefillin's called the Pe'er. Tiferes. What's Tiferes? The music, the synthesis of merging and fusing the Midas HaChesed of Avram with the Midas HaDin of Yitzchak. That's Tefillin. That's Pe'er. That's Pe'er Chacham V'Sholecha. That's why the Feiner Eytan Avol doesn't wear Tefillin. Why? Again, different Shittas in the Rishonim and Rashi in the other Rishonim, but either Avon Ula Ba'afar, he's not right for Tefillin. It's either the din in Avelos or din in Tefillin, whichever one it is. The double is no shaychus. Why? Because double is Margish Dayan Emes. He's only feeling Midas Adin. Holding in the Tefillin is what? Kesher Shel Tefillin. They come together. The Avo can't wear that. That's why the Avo doesn't wear Tefillin. Very geschmack. Amela comes out to what? The siyuma the milsa of lakachti liyam is best expressed ayadei. We put on Tefillin. Hashem puts on Tefillin. And he says, Klai, so what did you just witness? You saw Midas Hadin Yan Chazak like never before. And you saw Gevaldik Chesed. You were a Memta Shari Tuma. And a Lolo of the Avodah and I saved you. What a Gevaldik Chesed. You weren't worthy. And you didn't really do an Isarusa Dilatasa. And I saved you anyway. And now what? You're going to have the striking Yad Chazaka. You're going to have the Yad Gedola, the Chesed Klapa Yisrael, the Din, and Gevura Klapi, the Mitzrayim. I bring them all together to Tavas Beinenecha. You have what? Pe'er. Ota Yisol B'Sifaro when you put it in the Tefillin. What's Tifara? Tiferes is the Mizug. You got the Chesed uniting with the Din. That's right in between. Of course it's right in between. Right in between the Tzad HaYamin and the Tzad HaSmall. To Tavas Beinenecha, you got the Pe'er, the Tiferes. It's the Mizug, the synthesis, the balance right in between. The Yada Gevura, Yada Gedola, Keneged Avram Midas HaChesed, the Yad HaChazak, Keneged Midas Adin, Keneged Midas Yitzchak. Right in the middle. Now it's Geshwank. Let's read the pasuk. We got to the end of the book. You know what? The bridge is linking the Siyum and the Milsa of the Galus with the Aschata, the Geula. The last pasuk in Bo that carries us over to Mashalach. What is that? You want to capture all of what took place in Shmos and Be'er and Bo. You want to encapsulate the entire Galus in the Aschol of the Geula. There's one posuk, one Inyan that encapsulates it all. You just witnessed Yad Chazok and you just witnessed Yad Gedola. You saw the Chesed Klapa. You saw they weren't worthy of being saved, and I saved them anyway. You saw the Mitzvah getting punished like I never punished before. One, I'm getting punished with Yad Chazok Midas Adid. One, getting Yad Gedola Midas Chesed. How are you going to bring it all together? You're going to have the Osa yodcha. You're going to tie it from the right onto the left. The left keneged the labor. Yada chazok. You're keneged the mitzrib. Tatavas beinenecha. But what did you see? You saw the synthesis put on the tefillin sharosh. Why? Ki b'chozek yod. What's b'chozek yod? Hotzi nu Hashem Yudkei Vavkei Midas Arachamim Mi Mitzrayim. The Heiner what? Ki b'chozek yod l'fiyani estaiti. That's going on in the beginning. V'hayelos hayodcha ki b'chozek yod. That's our Chaim HaKodesh. But why the tatavas beinenecha? Because hotzi nu Hashem Midas Arachamim. The Midas Arachamim Midas Chesed that Hashem took us out. He didn't merely strike and destroy the mitzrib. He saved us in the process and thus manifest the Midas Chesed. And maybe let's get shmak. La'osa yodcha. Why ki b'chozek yod yad chazaka? I didn't copy the mitzvah. Tell us why, because we saw the synthesis coming together. That's v'choes pa'ar, the teferes. That's the teferes, the Galus of Klal Yisrael, giving us the chesed while simultaneously giving them the din and the gevura. You bring it all together. Hotziah nu Hashem saved us. Hashem yudkei vavkei midas harachim midas hachesed mi Mitzrayim. Hotziah nu Hashem mi Mitzrayim. Everyone got their just compensation. Bring it all together. That's the culmination of the Galus and Mitzrayim leading into the Geula. Now we're ready for Parshas Vahi B'Shach Paros Am. Have a wonderful night and a great rest of the week ahead.